talking a little bit about obstetric violence. Was that we're thinking about doing a podcast on that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well.
It's real.
Yeah,
and it happens.
Yeah,
it doesn't happen if you're at home.
And the amount of stories I've come across recently of women saying that they have been, had procedures or touch without consent during birth.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that, even if they don't consciously think it, they still unconsciously think it, that a woman's body is not her own. That a lot of people think that a woman is hysterical, even at the best of times, let alone when she's giving birth. So a lot of people think that they have the authority and the right to override a woman's preferences about her own body. It's horrible.
Yeah. Massive topic, but we'll go into that separately. Is there anything else you two would like to talk about before we finish up? Have we missed anything?
I might just give these stats about the types of birth that women have as a final message.
Sure.
So across Australia-wide, we have 48% of women are having spontaneous labour. That means, you're more than 50% likely that you will not experience going into labour naturally. You'll need to be, you'll either have you'll have an induction or just a C-section.
Yeah.
1/3 of women give birth by C-section. Yeah. 53% of women are having non-instrumental vaginal births. That means, again, almost 50% of people are having something put inside them in order to give birth. They're having a vacuum or they're having the forceps. This doesn't include all the other interventions in terms of episiotomy, having a drip put in your hand, having a needle shoved into your spine. 78% of births are had with medical pain relief. We know that every type of medical pain relief that we receive passes through the placenta into the baby, which impacts their how they're born, impacts their AGPA, impacts whether they have the breastfeeding established. In comparison to hospital birth stats, our private midwife has released her stats for 2017, and they were 78% of them gave birth at home. So that does mean, if she believes so, or if the mother wants to, she will be transferred to the hospital. But 78% of them are born at home. 84% of them have no medical pain relief at all. And only 7% of them had a C-section, which the World Health Organization is 10 to 15. They recommend 10 to 15% is what a healthy culture should have. So we have, how much is it again?
1/3.
1/3 of us give birth, so around 33% give birth by C-section compared to Martina, who's 7%. So we know that a woman not giving birth in a hospital, at least if she's giving birth with Martina, is going to be so much more successful in terms of a natural birth. She's going to have a much better recovery than she will be in the hospital. We know that our bodies are capable of doing this as long as we're educated and have control over the decisions made.
I think it's worth mentioning, when I talked to her, she said that most of her transfer were from the mother wanting to have pain relief. So it's not like an emergency transfer, like, something very bad is happening. So I think it's good to mention that. There's not, most of the transfer are not emergency transfer. They're just women's choice.
There you go. I think I can't remember in 2017, but usually there's only 1 or 2 women in a year that she assists that needs an emergency transfer. I think the year that I looked at, I'm not sure if it was 2017 or a different year, she had 0% transfer for emergency, because birth is not an emergency.
Yeah.
It's a natural, normal part that our bodies are built and designed for.
Yep.
Yeah, I think failure to progress, like my type of birth, would that be a big reason for C-section as well here. And I would think so.
Well, if I compare,
that's what they call it, right? But over there they've let me 42 hours, right? Or maybe would have let me longer. I don't know. But here, I don't know. I don't know how long, but I don't think that you hear women giving birth at the hospital after that long without intervention beforehand. After water breaking, yeah.
I think they give 24 to 40. I thought it was between 24 and 48 hours.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on that though. But if you compare your birth to the one I had, I'd say it definitely would have ended in a C-section.
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, I didn't really feel too pressured, but they always have that, they're always giving you the option, and it's so easy at that point to just give in as well, because you just want to go the easy route and you just want to have your baby in your arms and have it over with.
And also, to be honest, I think you're not in your mind, like, you know what I mean, you're like in different stage altogether, and you don't think straight like you would want to think. I mean, for me it was like that. I was so tired. Maybe it was just the tiredness more than the birth itself, but I was so tired I didn't think anymore, right? So you would make decision. Even Toby was, my husband was so glad I didn't end up having a C-section, because he knew I would have never gotten over it. You know, I would have been so upset afterwards more than anything else. And also because, you know, then it's more complicated for future pregnancy as well. So you have the risk of the C-section itself, and then the recovery takes longer, and it's not the same with the baby. The experience when the baby is born, you don't have the same, you know, contact. It's not the same thing. And afterwards, if you want another child, it's more complicated to don't have another C-section. So for all those reasons, that would have been a very, very tough thing for me to go through. So yeah, I'm glad you know, they didn't listen to me too much on that. You know, like not straight away. They were they knew the state I was in, you know, like, when you feel you're dying. I was not dying, obviously. I'm still here, but like I really felt like I was dying. I really thought that was too much, and I could not handle it, which I did. My body did the job. I didn't have to be awake almost. You know, like that did it by itself. So I'm
just going to talk a little bit about the "thank goodness the doctor was here to save your baby" phenomenon. This phenomenon is how so many women feel that they were lucky to birth in hospital because they had a complication and needed a doctor. But most of the time, that complication was either caused by a spiral of intervention. For example, I needed a C-section because my baby was in distress after I failed to progress. But the woman didn't progress because she had people putting hands inside of her and putting needles in her and artificial hormones. Or they're not even legitimate complications. For example, a cord wrapped around a baby's neck is often pretended to be a risk, but there is just another variety of normal. The cords, or our cords, are designed to protect itself from being compressed, and baby didn't get the cord wrapped around its neck during labour. It's probably been like that for weeks anyway. So it's so common to hear, I couldn't have had a home birth because I needed emergency help, which is putting the cart before the horse. You needed emergency help because you had a hospital birth. Cool. Well, we'll finish up. Got impatient children waiting for us. Well, thank you so much, both of you, for sharing your stories.
Thank you.
And all the statistics, and just having this conversation with me.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you very much for having us.
No worries.
Yeah.